I hope you can hear me okay. I am at the Commodity Classic down in Orlando. We're actually in the lobby bar area, just kind of chilling in the corner here. I've got my Coke, we'll call it, and I figured I'd sit here and talk to you guys for a little while. So if you are in Orlando for Commodity Classic and you want to meet me, now is your chance. I am sitting in the little corner lobby bar, the Rosen Center Hotel. Come find me. I'll put you on YouTube. We'll be here for a little while at least until they kick me out probably. But yeah, how are you guys doing tonight? Can you hear me okay? Let's start there. Let's get our chat stream all set up how we need it. Hi, how's the show? Good evening, Nathan. So this show, if you've never been to Commodity Classic, this show is top notch. This is an incredible show. I'm really, really glad that I got to come to this one and experience it. It's the first time I've ever been to a Commodity Classic, and I highly, highly recommend it. So, is it big? The show, you mean? It is not Louisville, right? It is not Louisville by any means. That said, John Deere, Case IH, some of the big manufacturers have much larger booths here than they do in Louisville, and it's a actual corporate booth here, not a dealer booth like John Deere had in Louisville, so that's really nice to be able to see some of that stuff. There's not as many of the smaller booths and stuff. This is a little bit more specialized to the corn and soybean sorghum growers. You don't have the livestock equipment here as much, and some of the other stuff that adds to Louisville but isn't here. So it's all in one big room, but it is certainly a lot of stuff here, and it's this. The difference here is the people, right? And I get Louisville. I understand what they're doing there, but there's 250,000 people that go to the farm show in Louisville, the National Farm Machinery Show. Farm Progress, I'm sure, is similar, just outdoors in the summer. And it is a lot. I would estimate, maybe I'm high here, but I would estimate of the 250,000 people that go to that show, 200,000 of them have zero interest in farm stuff or are not from a farm that's going to actually consider purchasing something. They're not the target audience of the vendors, right? This show has about 10,000 attendees, 10 to 12 I've heard, and every single one of them is the target audience of the vendors at the show. There's far less people. It is much more high quality show. You can go and talk to the people that are there at the booths, and for the most part, everybody's super friendly, wants to talk to you because they know that we actually know what they're selling and why it's important. And like the one guy I talked to today, he said, at Louisville we get the tire kickers, and all they want to know is how much it costs. And at this show, he said nobody asks how much it costs because they all know it's expensive, and he's not wrong. So really cool. I really, really enjoyed getting to go to the trade show stuff here. But yeah, so all right, let's see where are we at. Hear you good, excellent. Midland, Michigan. Good evening. Good evening. Hi, Nathan, you're the best. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate that. Hello from Washington. Hello. Watch all your vids. Thank you. Congrats on your recognition. Thank you. Yeah. I got second place in a category with a lot of qualifiers in a state contest, and I don't feel like I'm not trying to take away from myself. It was a really big accomplishment, but it rained where I live, right? And I come and I look at all of the people that are here, and some of the names that I have met this week have just been like, they're in a different league that I don't belong in. But man, do they make you feel special and like you're something here. I got a little ribbon on the bottom of my name tag that says State Yield Contest winner, and man, when you walk up to a vendor booth with that on, they take notice, and man, that's cool. It is really cool feeling. So thank you for your thanks, and it's just been pretty awesome here. So John Deere fully autonomous tractor there. Yeah, if you watched my video this morning, you saw that. I got to talk to a guy from John Deere about it for a little while. He told me a little bit more information about it and stuff. But yeah, definitely a fully autonomous Deere tractor here that was really cool to see. So congrats on your award. Thank you. How good is the Precision booth? Yeah, Precision's got a booth here. I checked it out last night a little bit. They had mock row unit set up with exact emerge planter with the conceal row openers on it, just like our new planter is going to have. Head furrow jets, a lot of different stuff. Talked to those guys for a while, and just learning how do I need to set stuff and adjust it and make things work the way that we need them to work. So that was good information. And they had a pretty decent booth. I didn't spend a ton of time there and looking around it, but they did have a pretty good display. So hello from the UK. Hello. And just finished watching your latest video. Congrats on all your awards. Thank you. Much appreciated. Getting beyond the farm gate is really important to stay current and look forward with perspective of time well spent. Yeah, this is not only has the show been incredible, the networking and the people that I have met. You'll see some tomorrow that were really cool from the YouTube side of things that I met some really cool people today. But just on the farm side of it. And yesterday I had a real quick interview there with that Chris Weaver. And he may not ring a bell to a lot of you, but he was on season 1 of The Podfather, a television show about high-yield soybean growers. He has quite a bit of influence and pull in this world, this high-yield world. And he has kind of taken me under his wing a little bit and just introducing me to person after person after person and putting my name out there. And it's thank you to him. It's been really cool. So. All right, where are we at? Did Phil get the new truck fixed? Yes, we got the new truck fixed right before I left, or picked it back up. They replaced several air fittings and fixed some air leaks. All it was a couple of air leaks. The truck was totally drivable. Just, when you let it set for a couple hours, the air was gone, and leaked down, and we wanted to get that fixed, so it's a little more convenient, I guess. But yeah, got that back. I assume it's running fine, but I haven't heard from anybody there this week since I left. North Georgia, welcome. Hello from Southeast Texas. Hello. Good clarification on the show difference comparisons. Yep. Thank you. If anyone watches Dirt, Grain, and Steel's channel, is now the real Dirt, Grain, and Steel, and his video explaining everything and why he has a new channel. Okay, didn't know that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mom. What's been the coolest part of the trip so far? Definitely the people, right? And the people that I've met, but also the way that they treat you here. Like, this is top notch. And not just from Golden Harvest. They have been outstanding to work with and treated me like top notch here. But also the NCGA, all of the vendors, all the people here realize that this is a top level show. And man, it's very, very different vibe, different feel to it than all the other farm shows I've ever been to. It almost makes you not want to go to anything else and just come to this one. And this show is not cheap to come to, especially when you factor travel and hotel rooms and all of that stuff in. But even just attending the show is a couple $100 to get in to buy the tickets. Before I had come, I would have been like, I'm not paying for that. If somebody wants to send me, fine. But after being here, it is worth it. Pay for it and do it. It's worth it. Great job in your interviews. Thank you. I don't know if you've actually seen any of them, but we'll see how they turn out. I don't know when or where any of those. I don't know when or where any of those are going to come out, but yeah, they were fun to do. Give yourself credit. Yeah, it is a little bit hard for me to take that credit because it rained where I live. Like, that's what I did. But then at the same time, I think back, like, I have 3 years in a row had 280 plus bushel NCGA entries. In fact, this year was the lowest of those 3. And so I have to be doing something right, I guess. I mean, I'm figuring this out a little bit. And I won the soybean contest too. Like, this isn't just here for the corn. I did the soybean thing too. So I need to take a little bit of that credit, but it is hard to do. So I see John Deere has a new G5 monitor. Yeah, they do, and it's pretty cool. It's going to be a little while before we see one, especially show up on our farm. But they're pretty nice. I think they're an upgrade. But yeah. You've seen the Gen 5 powered on just black screen. So in the tractor, it was just the black screen. They did have that kind of seat, mock cab seat display thing set up with the screen on. So I got to see it there. It is definitely a bigger screen, clearer picture. I'm choking on bits of dinner that are still in my teeth, apparently. Yeah. Anyway, So yeah, I did see it running and on, and it is very nice. It's a much cleaner look with the bezels and being more of an iPad style look, and I like that about it. Although I have noticed that all of the other manufacturers have that too. Like, Gear's a little behind on that, to be honest. In fact, I was in the Fendt Ideal Combine today that you'll see in tomorrow's video, and it has a built-in iPad mount right where the screen would go, like right next to the built-in screen. That like yeah, that's cool. So, have another beer while you're in Orlando. Rosen Center Hotel has a good pool. Yep, Maddie checked out the pool this morning for a while and spent some time there, and I've walked around it, but not really spent any time there. But I haven't done a lot of beer this week. We've stayed away from that. Maddie quitting the dealership to be her film crew now. I don't know about that. I don't know about being my film crew. Thanks for sharing, Nathan. Hello from Oregon. Hello. Good for you. Let's do big things. Yeah. So what I have learned is I need to figure out how to get back here next year. I want to come every year, and I want to win my way here every year. I want to be like, there are some guys that are big names here that are fixtures, and like, you recognize that name, and not from the recognition standpoint, but I want to be one of those names. I'm trying to not let it be an ego thing. That's not it at all. It's just like, I want to be here. I want to be a part of this, and I want to come back to this show, and I want to learn from these people and stuff. So this is awesome. Tell your sister good luck on her upcoming new job in Iowa. Thank you. And just stay away from the corner stores. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember where they're at exactly. So Anna's going to be in the Iowa City area. I don't know exactly where or anything, but somewhere in the eastern side. So I'm sure there'll be cool people out there. I actually, the Farm for Profit guys are here recording some podcasts today. They were at the John Deere booth. I managed to meet one of them briefly and talk to Tanner, and I said something about my YouTube channel. I said, someday I'm going to be on your podcast, and we'll make it happen. And then he starts like, the size isn't a thing, and they really are looking for guests at times and stuff. And he said, it's however we can make schedules coordinate and work out and stuff. And I said, well, my sister's got a job in Iowa. She's going to be out there this summer working on stuff, and maybe someday I will make it out to visit, and we can hook up and do a podcast together. So maybe we'll make that happen this summer. Do you think you're going to continue to go to the farm show? Yeah, so obviously we just talked about that. I want to. Like, I don't know that I can pull it off every year, but I will do my best to win my way back here. Drink of choice tonight. Coke. With a little Royal in it. Hello from Sweden. Hello. What was your soybean yield number you won with? The soybean, the variety, was GH 3442 XF Golden Harvest, and it went 86.8 bushels per acre, I believe was the number. So, and that was the top for the state of Ohio. Now, keep in mind that contest is a Golden Harvest internal. It was only Golden Harvest soybeans. This is not a state soybean contest. It is not a national soybean contest, anything like that. It was Golden Harvest internal contest, and so. Yeah, I mean, I did well. I'm not downplaying that one, but it was not really a widely publicized open contest to anybody that wanted to enter. How much do you wish your dad was with you for the show? Yeah, my dad, I think he would enjoy the show. I get why he doesn't like going to some of the other farm shows and stuff, and I don't blame him for that, but this one is different. This one is very different, and I think he would have enjoyed it. So when I win my way back here next year, see if I can get him to come with me. The video, the new screen wasn't flashing like all the other screens do. You mean when I video it, the pulsing? That's a camera artifact. But yeah, maybe there's something different with the frame rate, refresh rate on the display, something like that. I don't know. Hello, Wayne. Brock did a real nice job videoing on Wednesday. He did. I appreciate Brock doing that. I should have done a little better job editing and mixing us back and forth instead of all him and then me finishing it up. But it's okay. He did a great job. I appreciate it. I didn't see any video from yesterday, so I'm not sure that he showed up to work yesterday to do anything on that planter. So we'll see what kind of where it's at in the process when we get back tomorrow. Or yeah, but hopefully we'll get that planter out of the shop early next week, like Monday early. Curious your plans with doing trials with the new planter. How are you planning to match up the 24 rows and 8 row head? Well, 24 divides by 8 pretty easily. What are you going to skip past when planting and then fill it in with a trial? Not sure exactly what you mean there. But 24 divides by 3 is 8, so that's not hard to do trials. I don't do a lot of split planter stuff anyway, so I don't need to really worry about, trying to do that, because you're right, that center pass would be 4 rows of each variety if I did half and half. Most of my trials are more like starter or crop protection products, or added things that I can add later that I can kind of keep track of to the row with the sprayer or something else. So we'll do side-by-sides instead of split planter stuff, and no big deal. That's not a problem. Andy didn't give any soap, just stickers. Yeah, I mean, it's harder to mail the soap than it is to mail some stickers, right? So I appreciate him getting me those. We'll get them on some tractors or something here pretty soon and stuff. But I will go to my John Deere dealer and buy some of his soap. He does not have to give it to me. I'm from snowy Toronto. We got some snow at home today, too. The boys didn't have school, so we'll see what kind of shape things are in when we get back tomorrow. We learn a lot from you. Thank you for that. You're welcome. I learn a lot from other people, so if I can pass some of that knowledge along, I'm happy to do so. Find anything interesting you have not seen before? There is some new stuff here that I have not seen. There's a lot of biological companies. That's the new hot thing in ag, is biologicals, which I am a very big skeptic of. But we'll do our trials and our experiments, right? I got to see the new Kinsey planter pretty up close today. That was really cool. Some of the stuff that Fent has, I mean, some of the stuff I saw in Louisville and things, but you get a lot more time and close-up looks, and you get to see things better here. And so I don't know if there was anything super new that I was not familiar with already, but just more in details on things, I guess. So, how many acres of soybeans do you plan on planting with your new 60-foot 30-inch row planter? That is a good question. I don't have a good number for you. I wouldn't be shocked if it's 200-300. I wouldn't be shocked if it's 50. So I've got one field, the irrigated field, that we could potentially irrigate soybeans. I would strongly consider planting that in 30-inch rows, especially since I had a white mold problem up there the last time. But the weather's going to dictate that a lot too. If we get past the 15th of May, I'm going to be real hesitant to plant 30-inch row soybeans. I'd much rather keep them in narrower rows at that point. So we will see. Is the show stuff about real things to incorporate or more future technology? Oh no, most of it is real stuff now. Very little things that are not available yet or future concept stuff. I know that Deere autonomous tractor was there, but you can actually, I think, purchase one of those if you want to. Like, they have them actually out in the fields running. So, yeah, that's what most of the show was. Like I said, a lot of the smaller booths were foliar feed product companies, biological companies. For some reason, there was like 5 booths here selling spray adjuvants. Spray adjuvants, they're all the same, right? Maybe not. I don't know. But that's not somewhere that I typically think of for trying to boost yields as my spray adjuvants. That was a little different. I got to switch hands here, so I'm going to watch. Okay. So yeah, that was. We saw all kinds of different stuff that I was, I guess maybe not expecting or whatever, but it was really cool. Really good show. Sorry, I wasn't clear. If you do a split planter, it'd be $12. Yeah, so my split planter stuff. But I don't need to do split planters. I only had one field that I split a planter on last year with hybrids, so not an issue there. We'll just do side-by-sides where I'll plant one variety out and then we'll put another one in. And if we had a split planter, it's not the end of the world. Does it kind of throw my data off? Yeah, it does. So I'll try and avoid that, but it's not the end of the world. Do they give out winner for each state or largest yield? So there is there's the national winners, and they have different categories. Like I was in the conventional till irrigated category. They also have
a no-till irrigated or a strip-till irrigated, and then they have all of those non-irrigated, and so there's 6 or 7 different NCGA categories, and there's the top 3 national winners in each of those categories, and then each state has the top 3 as well. So I was second place in the state of Michigan irrigated conventional till. Like there's a lot of qualifiers there, right? There's a lot of state winners, well over 200 state winners of top 3 in each of those categories, kind of thing. So it is a very prestigious group to be a part of. It's not the elitist of the elite. That's the national winners. Those guys are incredible, but I don't deserve that much of recognition in my mind. But they do treat us really, really well here. Well, don't hurry home. We got snow last night. I'm aware we got snow. We're kind of starting to miss our kids. This is the longest we've been away from them for maybe ever, but quite a while, especially the baby. So we're going to get home tomorrow and go see them. My thoughts on skipping a pass is 24. Come back and fill the 24 in later, then you have 24 rows with starter, 24 rows without, instead of doing a split field. Yeah, and with starter I can do that. So the starter is a separate system, right? I can turn that on and off. It's hydraulic, and I can turn the pop-up on and off, and leave the 2x2x2 on. I can do that vice versa. That's all controllable from the cab. So those are super easy to do strip trials. They're 24 row trials. Well, actually, I may be able to row by row control that and leave an 8 row strip with and without, and do all of that right from the cab manually, or automatically. I'm looking forward to playing with this. I really need to get that planner home, get it hooked up to the 8RX, and go through the monitor and figure out how all this works. There's a huge, huge learning curve coming here, and we're going to figure it out, but it's going to take a little while. Are you close to getting a demo on the auto irrigation? The 360 Rain, I am not getting a demo. I talked to them again yesterday. My local rep was not at the show. A guy from Missouri was, and he was a little more like, you might get one for 24. He sort of sounded like they haven't actually started selling them yet, and you just have to be high enough on their list of people they want to sell one to. So I'm going to work on my guy pretty hard, and hopefully the YouTube may have a little pull there, but I would pretty much write him a check now if they would sell me one for 24. So I don't know. We will see. Do they give out winners for each state or the largest? I just answered that, man. You don't have to ask me twice. I will get to it. I'm from Eagle Lake, Texas. JBC have anything about their hydrogen fuel cell project? I have not seen a JCB booth here. Ford. Come on now. Ford. New Holland had a methane-powered tractor here, and I stood around that New Holland booth for probably 20 minutes, 2 different times, waiting for somebody to talk to me. And kind of like, hey, I have some questions, to get them to be on YouTube, and they did not do it. They just kind of sat there and talked to themselves and ignored everybody in their booth. And so I didn't get an interview on the methane-powered blue tractor for you. Sorry. Howdy. Do you have a conversation with the Yield 360 people? Yes. We just talked about that too. So I'm probably behind in the chat here a little ways. Did you notice improvement in your yield where you fixed your irrigation lines that were broken? You mean from the water that was spewing out of those? It's such a small sample size and area. It's not something you can pick up in the yield map. So I did not. How will be doing a 24-row impact your anhydrous with your current anhydrous? Okay. Yeah, that's a question mark, right? That's something we're going to have to figure out, is how is the 24-16 going to match up there? We're RTK, and I'm going to run AutoPath this year, so it should be fine. It should not be an issue at all, but every other pass with the anhydrous bar will be a pinch row or a split on the planter, and will be half from the one pass and half from the other. So I think it'll be fine. Again, it's a learning curve. We're going to figure it out together. If I don't have that bar next year because I have to go to a 12-row or a 23-row or something, you guys will be the first to know. No, you won't. You won't be first to know, but you will find out eventually. Since you farm in both Michigan and Ohio, are there unique regulations that make either state easier or harder to deal with? Not really. Ohio has a little bit tighter regulations with fertilizer stuff, but we're technically in Michigan, so but we don't really have to have the Ohio licenses, even though our ground is in Ohio. We're not buying it in Ohio.
There's that guy over there walking right there.
He's the guy I interviewed at John Deere yesterday. Anyway, yeah, so you have to keep stuff separate for crop insurance purposes and yield reporting stuff, but not from a regulation standpoint, no. I got anybody out there from Pennsylvania that's entered. Cool. Did you decide that you're doing with the fertilizer tank, or are you adding to the tractor planter? I haven't bought anything yet or done anything. My dealer was getting me some prices around on some stuff, and I was waiting for him to get one more that I have not heard. But it is time to make a decision on that. I am pretty confident I'm going to go with the tank on the tractor. I just think that gives me more flexibility. It keeps the weight off the planter, puts it on the tracks. And, I mean, I'm never going to road with it full anyway. I'm going to pump it out of the tank in the back and then unhook the tank in the back. So I think that's the plan. It's the easiest to plumb in and to already be there and set up for. So we'll see. We just got to get something bought. Does that show an invite only? If not, why is there less people there? It is not invite only. We're switching back. However, you have to pay. And there are different rates depending on whether you are a member of the NCGA, the Soybean Association, whatever groups are putting it on, versus just a general public farmer or whatever. And so when the guy off the street that wants to come to a farm show has to pay $200 plus for a ticket, all of a sudden they're like, maybe I don't want to go to a farm show. That's the big reason. It is not a free show like Louisville. You're going to fold the new planter out in the barn, probably about like what we have the bean planter folded out now. We can do it just a little bit, enough to open the wings up, but we cannot unfold it in the barn. Our barn is only 54 or 56 feet wide to the walls, and we've got the benches and the other stuff in there. It won't fit. So, no, not going to be able to do that. I think it'll be okay, but yeah, that's definitely the downside of a 24-row planter, is that it takes more room to work on, and there are more rows to work on. It'll be okay. Anything really cool there you'd be interested in now because of the show you've never seen before or thought much about? I don't know if I would say that. There's a big difference between what I'd be okay with trying and using and demoing versus what I would probably actually write a check for. There's a Case Magnum half track here that's black, and it's a beautiful tractor. I would drive it. I'm probably not going to write a check for it and buy it. Same thing with the Kloss. They've got a little half-track Kloss tractor that I would love to drive it. I'm probably not going to buy it. So, I don't know that I would say there's anything that I'm super interested in that I've never seen before. Back to the biologicals and the foliar companies and stuff, there is just so many of them to sort through that it kind of really muddies the water there. It's just, how do you pick one? How do you know this company's better than that company? How do I know they're not all the same? Do I just go based on price? That's a frustrating one for me. So, and some of these guys like Chris Weaver there, they have a lot of experience and done a lot of testing, and I trust their opinions. But I also know they're probably getting a pretty big kickback, right? He came to the Michigan and Ohio and did some high yield meetings last year, and the products that he mentioned by name, people went and bought them. He doesn't do that for free. So, grain of salt, but I do trust him and what he is saying, and he has the results to back it up. So, yeah. How does this come together with your Golden Harvest sales responsibility? Does GH do anything to celebrate with you? Because I am the seller and the farmer that did this, not really anything for that. If it was one of my customers that had won this contest instead of me personally, I think I still may have had the opportunity to come down with Golden Harvest. They would have sent me down as the seed advisor and stuff and made it a big deal. But, yeah. So I don't know exactly what you want, but Golden Harvest obviously sponsored my trip. They paid for me to be here. They paid for the hotel and everything else, and they've treated us really well. They took us to dinner last night. I have so many plaques and trophies and boxes and stuff that I've accumulated at the show. I don't know how I'm going to get it home,
because it does not fit in my suitcase, and it's going to be a problem to get it on the plane tomorrow. But I've been told I can carry on a bag, like a personal item bag. So I have one of the bags from the trade show, like a reusable grocery bag type of thing that I've stuffed a whole bunch of stuff in, and I'm hoping that I can carry that on. But yeah, otherwise I'm going to need to find a box and start shipping. Never saw anyone chase a Coke with water. Yeah, well, I can only drink the Coke so fast, and I'm talking enough that I need drinks, so that's what the water's for. Please don't give Brock crap for not washing the water. I won't. I told Brock you don't have to wash the gator because my dad was going to take it to the fence row with the boys the next day, so there was no reason for him to really wash it. Any thoughts on getting a 9RX? I'm not opposed to a 9RX. I don't see the value in an RX in a tillage tractor like I do in a row crop planting tractor. So until we replace the 8R or the 8430 with another 8RX or an 8RT, no, probably not. But I'm not saying it won't happen when we replace the 9R. It's just not at the top of the list by any means. Could you unfold the new planter in the new shed edition? Yes, it would unfold there. It would unfold in my seed warehouse, the barn in the back. If I need to get it inside and unfolded, we can do it. We just don't have heat there or tools. Hello, UK. We call the adults packing bags and bags of freebies trick-or-treaters. Public that's only there for the free stuff. Yeah. Now, I did get a lot of free stuff, but they gave it to me. Like, I didn't go and ask for it. You go up and talk to these companies. Like, there was one that we talked to today. They were like plastic for wrapping bales and silage piles. So I have no use for it. I made that very clear from the beginning. It's not something I have a use for. But we talked, and she was really interested in the YouTube side of stuff. So we talked about that for a while. And before we left, she loaded me up with stuff for the boys and all kinds of things. I'm like, thank you, but what am I going to do with this? How do I get it home? So we'll figure it out. Will you be able to close the main door to your garage with the new 24-row planter in the garage? In the shop, yes. I'm sure it will fit in the shop, not hooked up to a tractor, folded up, yes. Hello. Been waiting to catch you live for a while. I was wondering about your kids in school, be in Ohio or Michigan. My kids are in Ohio. The school's in Ohio. We live in Ohio. School district that separates the border. Yeah, all the school districts separate at the border, but we live in Ohio, so they have to go to Ohio. We can school of choice them wherever we want in Ohio. We cannot cross that border into Michigan. Thoughts on tracks on a combine? Yeah, again, same thing as like a 9RX, right? I think there's value in tracks on a combine, especially if we have a wet fall, but I'm not trying to eliminate pinch rows with a combine like I am with a planting tractor. So I would do it on the bean planting tractor before I would do it on a combine or a 9RX. And that $100,000 upcharge price tag, that's a tough one to bite off. That is a big number. Have you succeeded in finding an automated irrigation sprayer? I have not. I'm still working on them, on the Yield 360 stuff, on 360 Rain. I'm working on them pretty hard, but we haven't got one yet. For that new planter and adding another tank, might want to put tracks on the mainframe. Well, if I don't put the tank on the planter, I don't have to worry about that. But you're right, tracks on the planter would be good. Again, it's a $50,000 price tag. Can I justify that? I might be able to, but it's not going to happen this year. Have you ran the heater enough in the seed shed to know how quick it will heat up your shed? I have not. I have not run it to bring it totally up to temp. So, no, not really. Nobody's come up to meet me. I thought maybe one of you guys was here at the show watching. You're all out drinking, aren't you? Everybody's out dinner. The seed reps, the company reps are whining and dining and spending lots of money. I do know that. So I had a couple of guys that were here with Golden Harvest. I was trying to get them to go to Top Golf with us tonight and go hang out there. And then their rep wanted to take them to Twin Peaks, and I lost. So, yeah, it's fine. So we're just kind of hanging out here at the hotel. There's a crowd. Here, let me turn the camera around. There's a crowd of people milling around, chilling, drinking. The pool is out that way. Yeah. So we're just kind of hanging out here, and it's a good time. Maddie's up in the room reading a book. How many units of beans you planning to treat this year? A bunch of glitter. Any new seed trim you're trying? Yeah, actually a couple of things. So I should have a few less beans than last year. One of the guys that I custom treat for has decided to go a different route. So I'm not doing that. Cuts out a couple thousand units. But I've sold more than I did last year, so that helps. So we'll be somewhere around 6,000 units of beans probably that'll run through the treater. We are using a different treatment this year. Syngenta has upgraded their seed treatment on soybeans. Instead of the Cruiser Max Vibrance or the Golden Harvest Pallet Pack, we'll be using Cruiser Max Apex. It's got a new active ingredient in it. Simpler, less mixing. It's going to be super easy for me to get everything set up, and no measuring with pitchers, which is awesome. I really, really like that. We're going to be using some Heads Up again. We're going to be using some inoculant again, same stuff that we've used in the past. So we've got that all ready to go. And then what else did you ask me? Oh, glitter. Yeah, I have a pallet of glitter. We have oh gosh, that glitter. I'm going to put it on most everything this year, and I don't want to do that, but it's okay. Would upcharge pay on bean planter tractor? Upcharge as far as tracks, you mean? I think it would. I think eliminating pinch rows on beans, it's not really a pinch row, but you're always running over a row. And I think the less you can run over and the lighter your footprint is when you do run something over, the better it would be. I do think it would pay, and when we upgrade another tractor, it will have tracks. I can't promise an 8RX, but 8RT, yes, it will. Did you talk to the Libra cart people? They were not here, or at least I did not see them. I talked to them in Louisville, but not here. So I have people commenting on my Facebook and Instagram posts right now that they like watching my live stream. I don't know if you're actually watching the live stream and commenting on that or not, but you should watch the live stream that's actually live. Anyway. Evening, Nathan. Just saw you're doing a live. Thanks. Yeah, hi, Scott. Again, want to congratulate you on your awards. Appreciate that. Thank you. Take the CEO golfing. Who's the CEO? What CEO? Did you meet any other YouTubers there? Yeah. So I didn't too much yesterday. I did meet Duffy Egg, Chris Duffy, yesterday. I didn't get him on camera. I probably should have pushed that a little bit more, but I didn't want to. It's just awkward. It's still weird. So talked to him for a little bit yesterday, but watch tomorrow's video. I got some really big names in tomorrow's YouTube video that I'm pretty excited about. So yeah, and the one that I did meet that I did not get on video today, but Farmer Derek. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but yeah, Farmer Derek Klingeman. He's from Kansas, I think. He played the trombone for his cows, and now he's famous and works for NASA. And he is a very unique and large personality. But yeah, talked to him a little bit. He was here today, so that was kind of cool. It's awkward to walk up to a celebrity. Dude, you have no idea. I know how awkward it is for me to walk up to these other people. I can only imagine how it is for you guys, but don't be embarrassed. I really do appreciate talking to people. It's awkward. It's okay. Just come up and say hi. Tell me you like the videos. I'll ask you where you're from. It's all good. So, open bar. It is not an open bar, actually. I paid for this one because I'm kind of on the little hotel bar restaurant on my own here. There has been plenty of open bars around at the show, at wherever, but not here tonight. Think there's any chance GH might sponsor you someday? Yeah, there is a chance. We're working on that. I talked to some people down here about stuff from the marketing team. They're starting to see the value. They're starting to understand it a little bit more. My channel is growing to the point where I think it's going to happen. I don't know when. We're probably a year out, but we're getting there. Hi from Australia. What is the next step in your business? Man, I don't know. I don't know, right? From the farm standpoint, obviously we're getting ready for this year. From the YouTube standpoint, things are growing. I'm making videos. From the seed standpoint, I've sold more seed this year. We're going to start treating beans soon. Everything is rolling pretty well right now. One thing I would like to see start happening is I want to develop this reputation as somebody that knows how to get push yields and the high yields and stuff. Like I'm doing it right now. I feel like it's luck because it rains, but if I can continue to push things and continue to be in the position that I am right now, I think that reputation will follow, and eventually people are going to start wondering and asking me, how are you doing it? And that's where I can really start pushing, like Golden Harvest Genetics. That's the real deal. They work for me. I've done well with them. Like, try them. And whether that's local and people are trying them because I'm selling it to them, or it's more on the national scale and I'm getting a little bit of a sponsorship from Golden Harvest for pushing that on the YouTube channel, I think that's a real thing. I also think some of these other companies that I am starting to work with more, the Source on the soybeans, the Ag Explorer on the foliar stuff, like, I'm going to push those products and make them a part of my high yield plan for next year. And if they can consistently show me results and pushback, I think that that's something that I can continue to build as well. And same thing, maybe there's a sponsorship opportunity there. Maybe it's just growing the sales from my own business and stuff. We can work something out here. And so I'm really looking for that to grow. And maybe it's a totally different path that I don't even see right now. But I really like making these YouTube videos. I love doing this stuff. And I like being able to share it and stuff. But it does take time. It takes a lot of time. And so I have to be able to see a return from that. And yes, I get paid from YouTube some enough to make it worth making the videos. But turning high yield reputation into product sales, into sponsorship and something, that's where I want to get to. So if you guys are buying stuff because I'm using it, make sure you tell your reps. Just give me that, at least that feedback that, hey, they're seeing this somewhere and it's worth their time in sponsoring me. Yeah, so, hi Charlie. Just tuned in. Did you hear from Jonesville about the tractor fix? And he said, I have not heard from them. I hope that tractor is done. Oh man. The fact that they haven't called me means they probably haven't found more problems, but it also means they don't have it done. Oh, I'm ready to get that home. FedEx the trophies back home. I've seriously considered that, but I don't know. Like, I'd have to find a place in a box, and I should probably do that. Did you find any new chems to try out? Herbicide, insecticide stuff. We're pretty well set for this year. I do know that Syngenta has a new corn herbicide coming out here. I don't know if it's coming next year or when, but we'll probably try some of that when it does. I didn't spend a lot of time talking to companies that I don't do business with on that front. So, no, not really. Any plans on Gator upgrade or Can-Am players? No, not really. There's nothing wrong with our Gator. It works just fine. I like it. So, anything you would upgrade on the seed treater? I've done some upgrades over time. They have one here at the show. We gotta switch hands again. They have one here at the show that's identical to what mine is. I looked it over a little bit just to see, hey, what's different? Anything changed? And the only thing that has changed is the price. They sell for about $15,000 more than I paid for mine now. And no, mine's good. I don't need to change anything. I've upgraded it to the point where I've got it where I want it. It works really, really well for what I'm doing, and I make money with it. So I don't need to do anything different there. Seen you labeled video 900 a few vids ago. Are you still doing the big milestones? Yeah, that's kind of the plan. Just every 50 or 100 or something, just throw a label on it. So we'll have to have some kind of a celebration when we get to 1,000, which I have broken 1,000 total videos. I only number or count the ones that are the vlog style, non-live videos. My early ones I didn't count in the numbering system. So we're slightly over 900 of those, which is crazy in 3.5 years. And yeah, it's going, right? It's going. Make sure you're subscribed. If you guys are watching this and you're not subscribed, please do. I put out a lot of good content. I really appreciate that. It helps me out a ton. Since you won that award for growing corn this past year, have you seen a marked increase in orders for particular seed product this year? Definitely not for that particular seed product. It's a really full season corn for where we're at. And I am a terrible salesman in the fact that I have not pushed that, right? I should be out there screaming from the rooftops that, hey, I did this with this hybrid. You should plant some. And I have not been, and I sell seed because I love talking to farmers. I really enjoy going and stopping at my neighbors and just chatting with them. I am a terrible salesman because I don't close the sale. I don't ask for the orders. I have this feeling like if you like talking to me and we can build that relationship,
you know that I sell seed. You're going to ask me about it. I can say, hey, I've got this. If you want some, let me know. You should let me know. And I know that's not the way to sell seed. I really hope that the guys that I talk to and work with don't just think of me as a seed salesman. I want to be more than that. I want to build that relationship. I want to be a partner and help them in their operation. It's easier said than done. And so my seed sales has gone well. I'm happy with it. Things are going well. And I have great products to offer. I have zero desire to be that pushy salesman that's all I care about is selling you seed and nothing else. So I'm not a good seed salesman. I'm a good farmer, I think. Next time I see you, Brian Brown, I'll say hi. Okay. Jonesville's still working on your combine. Yeah, they are still working on the combine. I hear they got the part, so I think they're just waiting for time to get it in the shop because I'm not in a big hurry to get it back. So we should get that home in the next few weeks too. What's your thoughts on the John Deere Exact Shot for a corn planter? Right. So here's what Exact Shot is. So Deere has come out with this thing that basically it will pulse your in-furrow fertilizer to only apply it right on the seed, okay? So let me explain this. So we can put fertilizer in furrow to feed the seedling, the seed, right on the seed. And normally, the way it's always been done is that you put that in the furrow, and you're putting a constant stream out there, 3 to 5 gallons per acre usually, and it's a stream the whole way. Well, what John Deere has decided now is that we shouldn't be wasting that, putting it between the seeds. We should only put it on the seed. And so they've come out with this Exact Shot that basically pulses it to match the seed drop coming out of the planter, which is crazy because some of that stuff you're dropping 50 seeds a second. So let's say, just for round numbers, your seeds are spaced 6 inches apart, right? They want to apply that fertilizer in a 3-inch band right on top of the seed, and then leave a 3-inch band with no fertilizer, and then, so it's pulses through the field. And the idea is that you're saving the fertilizer and you're saving that input cost and you're cutting how much you're putting on. Here's my problem with that. I'm figuring out what I want to put on for starter based on how much nutrients my crop needs to do what I want it to do, my yield goals, right? And so cutting that in half, basically, by only putting it in half the area, also cuts my pounds of phosphorus and nitrogen, of potassium, whatever product I'm putting on, it cuts it per acre, so that I'm not putting. So are we doubling up in that strip and just concentrating it closer to the seed, or are we putting less on? In which case I have less pounds. In which case I have to make that up somewhere else. I don't understand the value there. It doesn't save me any money. I don't think it does anything unless John Deere is trying to tell me that the fertilizer I place between those seeds is completely wasted and the plants are never getting it. I don't know what good that does. So I'm skeptical, to say the least. Now, Deere is not the only company that's doing this. Yield 360 actually has a product called 360 Dash. It does the same thing. Again, is there value to it? Apparently, the companies are coming out with it, so they must have some testing that shows it works. I'm skeptical. Your hotel can and will ship your awards home for you. I might have to go ask about this when we're done. Did you give your speech yet? Well, I don't have to really give a speech, but I did do an interview with Michigan Farm News and with RFD TV yesterday, so yes. Is there anyone in the area I can talk to about Golden Harvest seed? Where are you from, Eric? I'm sure there is. If you send me an email, Facebook message, something, I will put you in contact with somebody. South Bend, Indiana area. Actually, South Bend's almost close enough. I would talk to you if you want to talk about stuff. Seriously, send me an email. FedEx website will provide options, even ask the front desk. Thank you for your help there. Oh, how far are we? It was 50 minutes in this? I've been sitting here a long time. I've been nursing this drink for a long time. Alright. I was at a meeting with my fertilizer supplier, and he was saying that he didn't understand why they spray plots across the rows. Told him why you do it, and watch your channel for more information. Right, so spraying across the rows. So I don't do a ton of that, but I do some. there's a couple of reasons to do it. Number one, if you spray across the rows, no row or entry has tire tracks in it, right? Specifically in beans, I do this because where I'm spraying 120 feet at a time, but my plots are only 20 foot, I have 2 out of every, 6 entries that then have a sprayer track in it, and that's a compaction issue. That's if you run down the row a little bit, you affect those, and so that's a disadvantage to those 2 rows. So that's why I like to go across the rows in soybeans. The other thing is, and I've done this in the past, I don't always do it, but it gives me an opportunity to split my plots, right? So the one year I had sort of long strips for my soybean trial, and I wanted to test each hybrid or each variety of soybeans with and without a fungicide application. So I was able to spray half that plot across the rows, and then when I harvested it, I split it, and I harvested the half of the strip that did not get sprayed, and then I weighed that, and then I went and harvested the half of the strip that did get sprayed to see what kind of a difference the fungicide made for each individual variety, not just with and without, because different varieties are going to react different. So that's why, to keep things more fair and to give me more opportunity to test things. Do you listen to any guest speakers or go to any educational sessions? I went to the general session this morning, listened to it for a while. Ross Schaefer, I think, was the host, and then they had some other guy that was a speaker, comedian, something. I'd have to go look up his name. And I did not make it to any of the educational sessions. I really was more focused on getting through the trade show. I probably had time to do some this afternoon, but I was tired. I needed to go take a break and sit down and just not worry about it. So did not make it to any of that stuff. Trying to take a soil sample from between 2 plants. Sounds like a great time. Okay. Oh. Are we talking about the exact shot stuff? Yeah. I think correlated to strip till at the show you never seen before. Nothing that I've never seen before. A couple of manufacturers had strip tillers here. Land Lover and Soil Warrior had some strip till stuff I looked at a little bit. I don't know if there's any dealers of either of those close to me, so I haven't. The Kraus Gladiator is the one that I really want to try. I would also be very interested in a unreferred Raptor. Great family operation you got. Thank you. Well run. Most likely the smoothest running farm operation I knew. I don't know about that. You guys see what you see, but we have our issues. But my dad is extremely easy to work with and very trusting, and he lets me make decisions. And not everybody can say that about their family farming operation. It is a weakness in the industry where people don't want to retire. And not only do they not want to retire, they don't want to give up control. I could name off a couple of examples where I know farmers well into their 70s, 80s, even 90s that still write all the checks and make all the decisions. And their sons, who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, have never had to make a decision. And that's a problem. And I give my dad a ton of credit for not doing that to me and letting me do stuff. And I have a ton of respect for what my dad's done and how he's built stuff, and he's done a phenomenal job, and I'm just trying to help push things to the next level and do the things that he doesn't want to do. So, yeah. Plants will get nutrients as the root system grows. It's a long-term supply for growth. I wouldn't do exact emerge. Exact shot, not exact emerge. But yeah, that's my thought too, is even if that fertilizer is placed 3 or 4 or 5 inches away from the seed, the roots are going to get there. It may not be immediate, but they're going to get there. Is your dad's wood shop project coming? What we've seen so far looks really cool. Yeah, I should show you the finished project. He's pretty well got his walls done there. He's been working on some stuff in the house again, and yeah, I think he's got it done. Has your dad ever finished his basement project? Yeah, he was finishing the roof or the ceiling in the bathroom project that he had done there. I don't think it's finished stuff. I think he's still got stuff to do, but he's been working on it. As a full-time firefighter named Brock, who works part-time at a farm, love the channel. Thanks, Brock. I don't see a point in having exact shot. Plants roots will reach out and use a starter anyway. Now, Deere claims, the lady that I talked to at the show claims that it's more efficient and that you can get by with putting less on and it doesn't affect the yields. there's no replacement for pounds. Like you can't just put less fertilizer on and expect it to yield the same. It doesn't work that way. It's kind of like how sometimes you'll hear engine or car guys say there's no replacement for displacement when it comes to engines and size of engines. Yeah, there is no replacement for fertilizer pounds and stuff when it comes to farming. And I know that there are some products that claim to do that, but you still have to have nutrients available. Where those nutrients come from and how you make them available can be different, but they have to be there. Plants using the product in between, if not, then the product's only feeding the weeds, but in theory and practice. I think that the stuff in between is feeding the plants. Maybe not right as soon as the roots come out of the seed, but it is feeding those plants. Drinks empty, need another. I know, I really thought the waitresses would come over to me sitting on the couches here, but they have not, so we're probably going to call it a night here pretty soon anyway. Glad to see you're a real person. Did you not think I was a real person? I don't know who you thought that I was. Ooh, there's a waitress. You think I can get her to bring me a drink? Maybe? Maybe if I can get her attention? Negative. Nope, not right now anyway. Drive by UPS store and ship stuff. I don't know where there's a UPS store and I don't have a car. I can't get anywhere. You're done drinking being empty, get another. You're looking relaxed. Hey, for doing a live stream in a lobby of a public place, I feel like I'm doing okay. Hi, Mark. You should look into Land Lover strip till bars. They're made near Lima. They're made near Lima, Ohio? I had no idea. That's not the same Brock, Adam. Not Brock. How do y'all only way to learn is to do it? I'm so glad your dad lets you make farm decisions. Yeah, he's really good to work with. I spent a whole lot of money on foliar fertilizer stuff that I have not proven pays yet the other day, and I don't know if he knows it yet, but he's going to let me do it. So, yeah. With interest rates rising at the bank, are you relying more on chemical seed companies' fixed APR financing program? So going back to that, my dad has done an incredible job in farming over the last 42 years. We're trying to rely less and less on banks. So we do have an operating note or a line of credit. We used it briefly in the fall, or we did this past year, but mostly because the seed bill was due in September. And we don't start selling stuff until, harvest starts in October. So it's a very short term that we used it. We do not have operating money borrowed. We do not borrow operating money unless absolutely necessary. And with that interest rate being over 9% now, we're gonna conserve cash. Like we have kind of had this discussion of, we had a good year last year, right? We had a very good year, and so we're selling stuff, corn stuff that we've got in the bins that we're bringing it in. Our expenses for this coming year are for the most part paid for. We would have the opportunity to do some more equipment upgrades if we wanted to, or do we take the financially savvy approach and bank that money to use it this fall for inputs so we don't have to borrow operating money at 10% plus interest? Yeah, that might be a good idea. So we'll see. There may be a little bit of an opportunity for both, but you learn a lot as you go through the growing season and know what kind of crop you're going to have bringing in. But the interest rates change things. That changes the ballgame a lot, and it's going to be interesting to see how different operations handle that, because not everybody is as fortunate and can be in that position where they don't have to borrow operating money. And we'll see. We will see. Especially when it comes to land purchases and some of that stuff, it has to affect land values when you have to borrow money at 6, 7, 8% interest versus 3, 4% that we were just a year or two ago. So, yeah, we'll see. My boss is there is getting an award for sorghum. Ah, cool. Yeah, I've seen the sorghum guys here. I really didn't know they were a part of this conference, but yeah, that's cool. Going to be working on any house project at all before planting? I've been tinkering with stuff and doing a little drywall finishing here and there. I hate finishing drywall, so I'm not very good at sitting down and just doing it. But the big house projects are outside stuff this year. I would really like to get concrete driveway poured. We've got to do landscaping around the whole house, all that kind of stuff. So that's the big stuff, and we're gonna have to let it dry up a little bit and get some more grass growing. Your dad knows about you spending the money now. Well, I told him I placed an order. I just didn't tell him how much it's for yet, and I didn't tell you guys that either. Made in McGuffey, Ohio. Landlover. Okay. They gotta have a dealer close then. Man, I should talk to them. Maybe they'll give me a demo. It's best to be your own bank. I'm almost to be my... Yeah, if you can do that, it is best. This farm, and I have to take care of my wife now. Well, good for you. A lot of comments about not needing to borrow money and stuff, and that's the best way to do things. And I understand where you're coming from, and I do agree with you. However, and interest rates change things, but debt is not a bad thing. Like, I am not opposed to borrowing money when it comes to buying equipment or doing stuff. Like, if I can get a bigger return for it than what the interest rate is, borrow the money. Like, I have zero interest in paying my house off that we just built a year ago any faster than I have to, because I have an interest rate locked in under 3%. Pay it back in 20 years with cheap dollars and bank that money and make more interest than what I'm paying, and it's financially smarter to do that. So, that dynamic is changing with higher interest rates, but over the last several years, like, borrow as much money as they will give you, because you can take that and put it to work for you and invest it. And instead of the 2, 3, 4% interest that we were paying, I can put it to work and I can make 10, 12, 15% return on investment. That's a no-brainer. Do it. I understand the desire to be debt-free and not have payments, but you're costing yourself a ton of money doing that. So, yeah. Hi from St. Cloud, Florida, 30 minutes away from Orlando. Hello. Tell us the bar name. We can call in a drink and have it delivered. I don't even know. Sam and Babs, Lobby Bar and Lounge. Problem is, I'm going to have to go to the bathroom here pretty soon, so we're going to have to end this and go back. March beans, it's not looking promising. It is very wet. It's very wet right now, so I would love to plant some March beans. It is not looking like it's going to happen. Prairie Straight Tractor, did I hear someone needs a demo? You did. I would love a strip till demo. You're not real close to me, but if you want to hook me up, we will talk. We will talk. Hi, Carrie, my friends from Geneseo. All right, guys, we're an hour into this, so if you can get a better return on what it costs to borrow, go for it. That's exactly right. And like I said, the interest rates being at 7 to 10% now changes that, but it used to be where borrowing it was not a bad thing. My sister Monica Maynard evicted off. Okay. All right, any last questions, comments? If you are down here and you want to come find me, I may be hanging out in the lobby for a little while. You're welcome to come and do it, but we're going to end the live here in a couple of minutes. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. There will be a video tomorrow morning. I've almost got it edited already. Like, I pretty well got through at least the show part. I had a little bit more to tack on from the Winners Social that I got to go to tonight, and we'll put that in and make sure it posts. And we fly out at 8:30 in the morning or a little before, so I have to be on a shuttle to the airport before 6. Morning's going to come early. We're going to bed early tonight. So what else do we got here? Like your videos. Thanks for everything. Thanks, guys. Keep up the great work, man. Keep up with the good reviews. But I know it's a lot. Catch what you can, and I appreciate it. Like the video. Subscribe. Really appreciate that. If you guys need some Border View Farms merch, go check out farmfocus.com. Really appreciate it. Glad your wife were able to 10. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Hello from Canada. Great show. Check the front desk about shipping. I'm going to go talk to him right now. Guys are loving the videos. Thanks, Carrie. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll check in with you guys later.